We're going to turn now to our business segment. Vivatech has kicked off in Paris this Wednesday. It is billed as Europe's largest tech and startup event with over 165,000 visitors expected, 14,000 startups showing their latest innovations, and as many as 3,000 investors. Emmanuel Macron will be taking the stage there this Wednesday, along with NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang and Arthur Mensch of French unicorn Mistral AI. Now vowing to emphasize tech sovereignty. Our business editor, Charles Pellegrin, is here to tell us more on that. He's got a guest as well to help us understand the relevant context surrounding this event. Over to you, Charles.
Hi, Aaron. Absolutely. I'm here with Jad Shimaly, who is a global managing partner at EY, one of the world's biggest consulting and auditing firms, to give us some of that context for this tech fair, this big tech event here in Paris. Jad, thank you for being with us. I want to start talking about trade uncertainty weighing on the tech sector. This is a sector that has a lot of globalized supply chains that cross international borders. How have the changes of the past few months affected the sector? What's been the impact?
The impact has been very clear on the capital flow in general. First, let me start by saying thank you for having me. But the capital flow globally has taken a significant hit. We're seeing that about 50% of the companies are slowing down capital investments. 20% are completely canceling some of the capital investments they were having. And other shifts that we're seeing is that about 40% of the companies that we work with and we survey have shifted operational assets. So when you think about what that means to the tech sector in general, it means a few things. It means access to capital is changing. So what used to work a year or 2 years ago is working less now. So there are new rules to the game. And what it also means is that there's a new level of agility that's needed for all companies to either adopt technology or for technology startups, scale-ups to be able to respond to changing needs as well. Supply chain is a big part of what we're hearing about lately, but it's much more than this. It's every facet of the business that's taking some pause or jitters or rethinking.
This leads us into this concept that's been talked about a lot here at Vivatech, especially by European policymakers, which is tech sovereignty. Do you believe that Europe can build a really sovereign type of tech ecosystem?
I mean, whether you need to get to full sovereignty or partial sovereignty, it's somewhere in between. And yes, definitely the demand is there and the expectations are there. When you think about the cloud environment in Europe, knowing that two-thirds, probably a bit more of two-thirds of it is in the hands of the largest three, so Microsoft, Amazon, and Google. And with the European cloud ecosystem and provider not having it easy from a capital access, but also from a regulatory environment and making sure that there's a strong enough push to drive for sovereignty where possible. Something that we started the journey on, but we need to see more and more of. And it's a great chance for Europe now to figure some of these things out and position itself for that much longer future, knowing that access to energy, access to a large population, there are a few things that are really working out to Europe's benefit. We just need to capitalize on them.
So how does Europe capitalize on that? What needs to happen to counter those criticisms, for instance, from U.S. or Chinese firms that come on the European market and talk about over-regulation and talk about strict red tape that's stifling innovation?
Yeah, I mean, we're already seeing some of the red tape being eased, being facilitated. We're already seeing the intent there. So the right level of conversations are happening. But whether it's red tape, whether it's regulatory, whether it's access to capital, whether it's even encouraging companies to fail and for it to be okay to fail as a startup before you scale up. All these things need to be embedded in the DNA of the business community and the regulatory environment. And we all know these things cannot change overnight. But demonstrating progress, I think, will drive a lot of the appetite to be significantly increased for foreign direct investments and local investments to be unleashed in the local European market as well.
We'll move on to artificial intelligence, obviously one of the major themes at Vivatech this year and all the years to come probably as well. How does EY recommend integration of artificial intelligence to its business partners, to the people who come to you for advice? What are your main guidelines for the integration of artificial intelligence?
So I'm going to approach the answer from a couple of angles. The way we looked at it internally is that we see ourselves as client zero, by the way. So we have 400,000 people globally. We operate in 160 plus countries, and we see ourselves as client zero. So we're embedding AI in all facets of our business, in some cases faster than others, but nevertheless the intent is there. Two, we're obviously working with many clients and bringing sector insight from one company to another, and that's one of our advantages. And the third thing is that we're working with the regulators across different jurisdictions, because the risk of AI, the regulatory environment and how it impacts AI is still to a large extent unknown. At least it's not stabilized yet. So when we work with our clients, we do the same. And what we found is that a year ago, if you and I were having this conversation, not even a year ago, many of the clients were really looking at AI in a use case format, looking at taking one process, seeing how to introduce AI into one process. Now AI is integrated in most models within, or most operating models within a company. Now granted, it's not fully steeped in, because the talent is not fully ready, the regulatory environment is not fully ready, and the AI evolution is happening so fast that some companies might need to slow down their appetite and their interest, because there are net new technologies that are going to be hitting them in the next few months. But if you're not ready for today's technology, odds are that you're not going to be ready for tomorrow's technology. So instilling a level of agility in your decision making, a level of agility in your capital deployment, a level of agility in how you hire is critical, and that's how companies are dealing with it. Agility before process.
And that pace is going to keep ramping up as people learn to use AI in their everyday lives as individuals as well. Jad Shimaly, thank you so much for speaking with us. You're the global managing partner at EY. Thanks for sharing your insights on France 24.
Thank you, Shab. Merci.
Back to you, Aaron.
Charles Pellegrin, thank you very much.